Here's the list from yesterday, and I didn't get any of it done. I did quite a bit of stuff yesterday, but this wasn't any of it. So this is what I think of this list. Let's try again. This is today's list. It's a little bit large. I'm going to start off with, I got a bunch of apples for free yesterday, and I've been given access to a thimbleberry patch. So I'm going to make sure that I get out there this morning before it gets hot. That means today, again, I'm hitting the ground running. I'm feeling good today, and I'm up. It's only 7:15 right now, so I'm going to get this stuff started. As you saw, my garden is full of weeds, but it still has beauty. It still has some productivity. I have to harvest my spaghetti squash and my pumpkins and whatever squash I have because we have a very sudden squash bug infestation. They came in overnight. They were here. They weren't here yesterday morning. They were here yesterday afternoon. So we have to do something to get the product out of there. It went down to 6 degrees overnight. That's 42 Fahrenheit. And that means that frost could be very close. We're not supposed to get frost for another month, another 5 weeks, but we may be in for an early fall. Come on, I've got to get this stuff done. I hit the ground running. I gotta get stuff done. I haven't had my breakfast yet. I had like this much of my smoothie, and I need to keep on moving and get this done before it gets hot. It's the air temperature is cold, but with the sun shining on me, in case you can't see, but with the sun shining on me, it's pretty warm. Let's get to it. I've come to the squash end of the garden first so I can put the squash in the bottom of my bucket. This vine is all dying back. I don't know if that's because of beetles or if that's because it's produced this one pumpkin. If you go by the rule that the stem turns brown when it's ready to harvest, this isn't ready yet, but this plant is entirely died back, and I do need to protect it from the bugs. This might be the only pumpkin I get. You might not be able to see that squash right now. There it is. The stem is starting to die back. I forgot to bring my snippers. The plant is dying. I'll be brutal. There we go. Is it ready? It's actually ready. That's awesome. Okay, this one is covered in bugs. Give it a good shake so I can get the bugs off of it. I'm not usually squeamish about bugs, but this one has got me going, oh, there's so many of them. There were hundreds of bugs on this yesterday. Normally I would be a little more careful. About taking my squash out so that the plant survives, but with it being so close to frost, I'm not going to expect much. And this is hard. It's ready to harvest. That hill is a killer. My pumpkin and squash are covered in dew. I can't leave them in a bucket like that. Our local newspaper comes wrapped in newsprint, so I save the newsprint for various purposes. I'm going to use it today. I'm going to use it today to allow my squash to dry. There we go. Curing your squash and pumpkins so that they're not wet and so that they dry off is a good idea. I think I'm going to take a paper towel to this muddy one. Let's wipe the mud off of this one. It's soaking wet and covered in my mucky handprints. Most of the dirt I don't mind, but these ones are very, look at the dirt, it's just awful. Let's get that off. I can always wash them before I go to eat them. But the less bacteria in storage, the better. I'm going to leave the pumpkin. Curing squash, leaving it to air dry, that's another form of preservation. If kept in a cool, dry place, they should stay for months. I might be eating spaghetti squash into December or January. I would love to have spaghetti squash for Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve. That'd be perfect. We were so fortunate to be able to get a bushel and a 5-gallon bucket full of apples from a neighbor. The ones in the stainless steel bowl have some damage on them. I have some bruises and such to deal with. The ones in the pie plate are in decent quality condition. I'm going to use those for fresh eating. I'm just going to leave them on the counter so that we can remember they're there and eat them up. Today I'm going to dehydrate some apples because I can put them on the dehydrator and walk away and go do something else. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I've got enough apples washed here that I should be able to do that. I've got my slicer, core, or peeler here, and it's squeaky. I'm going to have a bowl set aside with 4 cups of water. And a decent splash of bottled lemon juice. That's to keep the apples from turning brown until I can get them on the dehydrator. Today I'm just doing apple rings, just for speed. This apple is very soft. Again, they came off of 2 different trees, 3 different trees honestly. The soft ones would make great apple juice, and the firm ones would make great apple pie. I don't know my types of apples, and these are trees that have been uncapped for years and years and years. They're organic, there's no spray on them. They're not near a field that's being used for anything. They're near a field, but the field's not being used for anything. For a long time by the looks of it. They mow it, maybe for straw or for hay, but that's it. A clear example of how we've got 2 different types of apples. One is pink and one is white. Or yellow even. The soft ones are the pink ones. The very soft ones are pink. They're very tasty though. Apples stick to these trays very badly, so I use parchment paper. I need more sheets right now. I grab the jelly roll tray and a pencil. And my parchment paper. And I'm just going to, it's noisy. I just take that to the edge of the jelly roll tray, and then I just flip it for however, the box wasn't supposed to fall over. I just flip that over and over for the number of trays I need. I probably could use 8 of them. These don't go bad. They can be used more than once if they haven't left stains or food residue on them. That's enough. I'm lining these all up as I remove the jelly roll pan, so the sheet, so that'll be fine. I take my pencil and I trace. Easy peasy. Now I can fold it in half and cut through all of it at once. Find the halfway mark. Yep, that's close. And And all of my scissors are missing again. I think I have a history of scissor problems. And then I'm just going to cut Both of my dehydrators have 5 trays. I have a really old dehydrator here. It's a Mr. Coffee from the 1990s. And the other one is the Sultan Vita Pro. It has, the Mr. Coffee brand does not have adjustable thermostat. The Vita Pro does. But just like any dehydrating project, you fill the trays without overlapping your product. It's okay if they touch. They may stick together, but you don't want them overlapping for sure. Single layer. Oh, delicious. I think I'm having apples for breakfast. It's approaching 10 o'clock. I have to get out there and pick those berries before it gets much hotter today. I've worked it out before that you get about 8 or 10 slices per apple. Now if we sit down and we eat dehydrated apples, like apple chips, it's so easy to eat 30 slices. So that's equal to 3 apples or more. It's easy to get away ahead of yourself. We wouldn't sit down and eat the sugar of 3 apples all in one go. So it's better to mix these with nuts or cheese so that you're not filling up on straight sugar. These soft apples really crumbled when I was working with them. They're going to become applesauce. They're just so fragile. They're delicious to bite into. They're so sweet and juicy. They might be a good juicing apple. I don't remember what he said, what Doug said they were called. He might have called them Knights, something Knights. There we go, 10 o'clock. It's exactly the time I wanted to get done. I need to get out there and pick those berries before it gets too hot. It may not be easy to tell what's going on here, but it's all blackberries or thimbleberries. And it's not even 1/3 of the way ripe. I've got enough for today, I think. Let's finish off that zucchini project. These have been in the freezer overnight. They're 1 cup servings. I'm just going to vacuum seal them. If you vacuum seal zucchini while it's fresh, not frozen, you will end up with a lot of moisture in the bag and it won't seal properly. This has been frozen. This should seal perfectly. And it's a little noisy. Okay. There we go, 12 single cup servings of zucchini ready to go in the freezer. I have just one more project for today. Those berries I got from my neighbor's property. Black thimbleberries or blackberries. I'm just going to spread these out and collect any debris out of the material here. Dan eats yogurt with frozen berries in it as dessert every night after dinner, and that's a healthy choice. The dietitian gave him thumbs up for that. It is low on the glycemic index, it is nutritious, and he can eat all the berries and yogurt that he wants. So if we got an opportunity to get some fresh berries for free, we might as well take advantage of it. The patch was only about 1/3 ripe, so if we go every couple of days, we should have lots of berries in the freezer. I think this should do him probably 6 servings. He eats so much of them. He just loves them. And smoothies, delicious. And that's it for today's portion of the Every Bit Counts Challenge. Be sure to pop over and visit Jessica at Three Rivers Homestead and follow along to see the other channels that have been playing along with this challenge. Also, subscribe to my channel so that you can see what's going on for the September collaboration. See you next time.